Does anyone have a question?
Stuart, it's Wendy. I'll ask you something about, I read something Rudy wrote, or actually you wrote in the ferry boat, the mystical ferry boat. I think that he was talking about, you were talking about living inside the world and outside the world at the same time. Could you speak about that a little bit more?
Yes. Well, I speak about this all the time. Uh, I always, tell people that a human being is a point in a triangle, and that point is located in the chakra below the navel. And that chakra gives us the ability to live in life, and detach ourselves from everything in the world, and also to be connected to God at the exact same time. So when the mind is focused there and that chakra is open, we can live in the world, we can be free in the world at exactly the same time. It's one of the reasons we do open eye meditation. When the eyes are open, we're connected with the external world. At the same time, our minds are focused below the navel, and we're drawing down spiritual energy. Kundalini is activated, and we're connecting with the soul of the universe. I mean, it's the essence of the meditation that Rudy taught this. And he was adamant about people not, sequestering themselves from life. I remember when he came to Texas and he really I bought a diesel truck for a business I was in. And when he saw that truck, he said, "Now there's growth." I mean, what he was telling me is that, living in the world is part of a manifestation of your internal growth. Success in the world, without the world sucking you dry, is a manifestation of your internal growth. And you can have that success, and at the exact same time, you're connected to God, to higher energy. You're able to detach yourself from the Maya of life, the illusions, the dreamlike quality of life, and connect with spirit. And so nothing interferes with anything else. It all works together. And I think that this is one of the great things I learned from Rudy. I saw how successful he was. I had never met a guru in my life, who usually gurus, everybody gives them money, I mean, lots of money. I don't mean the $30 and $40 that people contribute here. I mean, they buy Sai Baba hospitals. They make, they huge investments in ashrams that these teachers run, and and I saw Rudy earn this on his own. I mean, he got really strong being able to become successful in life and at the same time being free of life. My God, he owned 5, 6 buildings on one block, in New York. And, I mean, it's very valuable real estate. And he had a very thriving antique business. That was the foundation of his success. At the same time, he was continuously and constantly connected with higher energy in the universe. And he would draw down that energy so that it could manifest in his life and create, this kind of world that he lived in, which was an extraordinary world. It's at the essence of Rudy's teachings, this question you asked, Wendy, really mean it. Because we're born here for a reason. We're not born here to run away from life. We're born here to be successful in life, to live life. You understand? At the same time, we're born here to work out karma, to work out all aspects of our karma. And the only way to do this without being sucked dry by the world is to have a connection with God or higher energy in the universe. And when you're focused in that point below the navel, you're in the world and you're free of the world at exactly the same time, because that allows the heart to open, the mind to be quiet, the throat to open. I mean, it's the essence of what Rudy taught us. And it was a great, I mean, I can't tell you what kind of an education it was for me to learn how to do this, to not be intimidated by life and all the craziness of life. At the same time, knowing the only way I can deal with the intensity of the world is to connect with spirit. So you work out your karma, you connected with spirit, and when you leave the world, the soul, detaches itself from all this stuff, and it becomes one with God. You have worked out everything you have worked out everything you've had to work out on the earth. And we have to be born here for a reason. We're not born here to hide from life. It's one of the reasons I never ran an ashram after I was in Denton, because people used to come there to hide from life. And I just couldn't, I said, no, this is not what Rudy taught. He taught, come get the energy and allow that energy to manifest as your own unique individual connection with God. So I never ran an ashram again. Yeah, I ran Fourth Avenue, which was not an ashram, but it was a huge meditation center where people came, but then they went home. They went back to their lives. And I find that most people that live in those circumstances, they're trying to escape life. They're really running away from life. They're hiding. It's like a womb where they feel safe. And I didn't want to be somebody's womb. I wanted to nurture them so they can go do their life and they can grow in the world, and do something creative and wonderful with their time and energy. But what you asked is really important, Wendy. I mean it, because it really is at the foundation, at the base of everything that Rudy taught. How to be in the world and to be free of the world at exactly the same time. And that allows us to work out karma, to do on the earth what we were born here to do. And to ultimately, working out the karma, we can detach the soul. There's nothing to come back here for anymore. We have done it. I mean, Rudy used to say, I'm going to eat. It's like life is a smorgasbord. I want to eat from every dish on the table. I don't want there to be anything I have to come back here for. Well, how could you eat from every dish on the table if you're not connected to spirit, so that you can do it and be detached from it and not be, people are just sucked dry by money, by power, by beauty, by sex, by all this stuff that just sucks people's lives out of them. I'm not saying any of that isn't valuable. It's all valuable because it's all the teacher telling one that they need to stay connected. And you need to continuously work on a chakra system that enables you to be here and to be free. I mean, Rudy once told me it's not to have, it's to have and to be free of what you have. I remember standing next to him on 10th Street, and the fire engines were all there, and one of his buildings was burning. I'll never forget that. He said to me, Stuart, I must really be growing. I don't feel an ounce of emotion watching one of my buildings burn down, He said, I really must be getting closer to God. And people are afraid of success. They're afraid of money. They're afraid of relationships. They're afraid of being happy. They're afraid of enjoying the world. So you got to build a system that overcomes that fear and allows you to do it. I mean, I'm having fun. I spent the last 2 months buying museum quality art. I mean, who thinks in this modern world you can get museum quality art? It's been a joy. It's expensive, and I'm taking risks doing this, but it'll all come back. I have no problems with, you know, doing these kind of things. I've been doing them all my life, you know? And it's fun to live in the world. It's fun to do incredible things with life. And my things are not your things. We all have something that is truly remarkable about our individuality and the uniqueness of who we are as human beings. But the key to the whole thing is the development of a chakra system that overcomes fear, that overcomes insecurity. Because it's all just energy. Money is energy. When used consciously, it gives life. When used unconsciously, it takes life. Relationships are just energy. When used consciously, they give life. When not used consciously, they destroy people. So by developing a chakra system, we learn how to be in the world and be free in the world at exactly the same time. It's an incredible thing to learn. Does anyone else have a question? Great question, Wendy. Thank you.
Beautiful answer. Really beautiful.
Excuse me?
I said thank you. That was a beautiful answer. Really full.
I try. I try. As I say, I try to answer everybody's questions. I'm telling you, I went into this class. I was so tired. I almost fell asleep at the dinner table tonight. I was so tired. And I feel like I'm 20 years old here. So much energy came from this meditation, from this talk. And I think that's one of the miraculous things about what we do. You resurrect yourself. I remember I heard Rudy say once, you know, you can be tired on your own time. You can never be tired on God's time. You know? It's really true. Does anyone else have a question? I just have an announcement to make on the 6th. Excuse me, I'm very tired. But, you know, on the 6th of next month, I'm going to go away for 10 days. And I'm hoping that where I go, the Wi-Fi is good enough to have these classes. I'm going to the mountains of Mexico, you know, to go to a town that I'm thinking about, you know, possibility of maybe going there and living for at least a year or so. And I'm hoping that they have Wi-Fi there that's strong enough to do the meditation classes. I'm sure they do because there's a lot of expatriates that live there. A lot of Americans live there. I'm sure that Wi-Fi will be fine, but I'm just telling you this, that I'm going to be making a trip there for 10 days.
Stuart,
Yes.
I just wanted to say, sometimes you can get a service on a good cell phone that'll make a hotspot. So even if they don't have Wi-Fi, you can do it through your phone in a good way with the computer.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have a laptop. Somebody's lending me a laptop that I can use for the classes. All right. Okay. I need to know about all this technology. You know, I'm kind of an aardvark when it comes to technology. And things go wrong, I call my Nia, come over here. And she fixes them in 12 seconds, you know? I have no idea what's going on. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? But I tell you something, I love this, what you can do with computers, you know, in the small way I do them. I mean, I used to have to go to India, China, you know, Nepal, all over the world to find art. Now I go to North Carolina, to Rhode Island, to California, and it's all on the computer, you know? And it's totally amazing to me, you know, that how the world has changed. It's really changed. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? It looks like I really get a kick out of this. I'm still scheduled to give a talk to about 20 or 30 CFOs at JP Morgan Chase Bank. I think that's going to be really interesting. The last time I gave a talk like that was to a hospital in Staten Island of about 150 doctors, psychiatrists. And I looked out at this group of everybody sitting in their white jackets and being very important. And I said, what the hell am I going to talk about to these people? So I heard a thing in my head, what you talk about is physician, heal thyself. And it would be an amazing talk. At first, there was so much resistance until these people there began to realize they have to really heal themselves if they're going to truly heal other people. It's the Hippocratic Oath, for God's sake. Physician, heal yourself. Heal thyself. So it was about a 45-minute talk, and it was very interesting. So I think this other thing in the bank is going to be something very similar, to find a way to connect with these people that all they think about is money, power, success, and they're all so stressed out. That's why they want me to talk. It's supposed to be about stress management. Because everybody there is so stressed out, they can, you know, so it should be a very interesting talk sometime in October. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, well, there'll be a class on Sunday. You know, I'm also happy to say there are people coming here. There's 2 people coming tomorrow for in-person classes from across the country. And I'm really glad. I'm so grateful because the in-person classes are really very extraordinary. So, there'll be a meditation on Zoom on Sunday evening. And again, thank you. God bless you all and for being here, for asking the kind of questions you ask, for the need that you have to grow. I can't tell you what that does for me as a human being and as a person who works on himself every day to have a spiritual life. It's very important. And God bless you all for being involved in this. Thank you. And hopefully I'll see everyone on Sunday. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Merci.
Thanks again.